I get so many requests from you asking to please show more of the area just driving around. Traffic is definitely an issue in Northern Virginia, so I think that you are most interested in just seeing, navigating the area, what does it look like. So in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to stick to the major commuter routes. I'm here in Old Town right now, and I'm going to take Route 1, hop on 66. We'll probably check out the toll road briefly, maybe even Route 7, and then I'm going to loop back. We're going to be heading away from DC first, and then I'm going to loop back and come back towards the city on the Beltway and then hit 395. Keep in mind that right now it is late morning on a weekday, so I'm avoiding all of the commuting and rush hour here because if I didn't, the video would probably be hours long and really boring. So factor that in when you are making your move to Northern Virginia, that this is not, peak rush hour traffic. So if you're interested in seeing what this area looks like from a driving view, be sure to stick around because we're gonna head out right now. So I'm just making my way out of Old Town, and then we'll come up and get on Route 1 and head towards 66. Gotta love Old Town. It just has anything and everything you could possibly want. And coming up here on the right side is St. Elmo's Coffee, just one of their locations. But I love St. Elmo's. If you're looking for great coffee, check them out. Old Town is, of course, very built up and established, but there is still new construction going on here. Ooh, we're also just passing Hank's Oyster Bar, great restaurant here in Old Town as well. There's quite a bit of new construction in Old Town, which is nice because this area is very well established and obviously a historic area as well. But if you're looking for new construction, you do have some opportunities in this area. You also have some new construction opportunities in Potomac Yard, and I will point that out when we drive by, or just about probably 10 minutes depending on lights away from there. So here we are making a right on North Patrick Street, which is also Route 1, and we are heading towards Washington, DC right now. I'm not gonna head into the city, but we will see signs for it before getting on 66. Up here on the left, this is all new construction. These are apartments. They are very, very close to being finished. They've been working on them for some time. Great location if you are looking to being close to Metro. About not even a mile up here on the right is Potomac Yard Metro Station. So very convenient. That's one of the things. We were just getting ready to enter into Potomac Yard, and one of the things that has always stood out to me about Potomac Yard is just its exceptional location, proximity to Old Town, proximity to DC, Arlington, and your daily, shopping, dining, entertainment needs. It's a fantastic location. We're gonna come up over the hill here, and then we'll be overlooking Potomac Yard. While I'm waiting for this light to change, Potomac Yard has been in the news a lot in the past week, and I'm filming this just a few days before Christmas. And it has been in the news because the Wizards and the Capitals are possibly coming here. It looks highly likely that they are coming here, leaving DC, coming to Potomac Yard, and there are a lot of opinions on it. I have heard from clients and friends who are on both sides of whether or not they're for or against it. I think like anything else, it has pros and cons. It would be, I think, awesome to have professional sports teams right here in Virginia. But with that, of course, comes increased traffic, and goodness knows we have our fair share of traffic already. And it also comes with possible more crime if it's a mirror of DC. And it's just already a congested area, so I'm curious to see how Metro and the owner of the team is able to come together in the city in order to work that out. That's a TBD, though it's not official yet, but I think that it will most likely happen. So here we are coming right through Potomac Yard. You can see up on the left there is a ton of construction going on. That's going to be some medical offices. I have got a confirmation that Founding Farmers is coming in there. If you're familiar with that restaurant chain, I definitely enjoy them. I'm looking forward to that. There's also going to be some other retail that's coming in, and then of course apartments that you see there as well. This is a good example of, even though it's late morning, it's 11:20, there's still traffic. And the mornings and the evenings, traffic is pretty darn bad here on 1. There's a lot of lights in this area, so it just backs up. It's a way of life in Northern Virginia, but it's worth pointing out that they're great location here, but there's definitely a lot of traffic. On the right here, I am just passing Potomac Yard Shopping Center. You've got your Target, Staples, PetSmart, Best Buy, Total Wine. There's a Barnes & Nobles, Home Goods. I did a vlog on Potomac Yard. If you want to take a deeper dive into that shopping center there, be sure to check that out. And once we pass this, you can actually see behind it the construction going on there. That's going to be the Virginia Tech campus. And as we are coming north here on 1, we're getting closer to Crystal City and National Landing, which is where Amazon headquarters is. And I have to wonder, with the possibility of the Wizards and the Caps coming here, if that has always been a discussion with all of these high-powered business owners. Kind of just makes you wonder if this has always been in the works. Also up here on the right, these are condos, but there is retail under them, and there's also up here on the right as well is a Harris Teeter. Lots and lots of office space for rent here on the right, and then there are apartments as well. We are just getting ready to come up. If you're curious about the airport, Reagan Airport, the exit is right here. Again, very convenient. You can also take Metro to the airport. And as we keep continuing up here, we are just about to get through this congested section, and then we'll be on our way to getting on 66. Let me know if you like this style of video. If it's something that you're interested in, drop me a comment and I will do more of these, but on a smaller picture view. Today is definitely big picture of navigating major commuter routes. And if you don't like it, let me know that as well. I want to make sure that we are giving you the content that you are interested in and that is helpful, whether you're relocating to Northern Virginia or if you already live here and are curious about learning more about the different areas. Let me know in the comments. We are just about out of the congestion. I wanted to point out, you can see the sign there, Pentagon City. Lots of shopping and dining there as well. You can always drop off if you're looking to explore the area. But I'm staying straight because that's how I will get to 66, and also going to point out that if you're headed into Washington, D.C., this would be your exit up here. You can see the sign 395, and what happens is we're on 1 now, but this is going to split, so you would want to stay to the right and stay on 1 to then pick up 395 and head into the city. We're staying right where we are. This is going to be 110 now, and it will take us towards Roslyn, and we won't be getting off at Roslyn, but again, want to point that out as well because it's very easy to get into the Roslyn, Clarendon, Ballston corridor, which is a big employment area here in Northern Virginia. What you see on the right here is part of the Pentagon. The Pentagon is on our left. You can see off in the distance, that is Roslyn and the Ballston area. And coming up here, once we go under this bridge, is Arlington Cemetery. And whether you are moving here or live here, if you have not been to Arlington Cemetery, it is so incredible. I can't even find the words. I've had the opportunity to go twice, and it really is just incredible. And I'm looking over it. You're not going to be able to see it, but all of the wreaths have been laid for the holidays that happened last weekend here, and it is such an emotional event. It really is special, so I highly recommend visiting the cemetery if you have the opportunity. As soon as we come around the corner here, we are going to see this split off. Towards the left, you can go to Roslyn, which is Wilson Boulevard. You can take Wilson all the way through Roslyn and Clarendon, Ballston area. That'll take you right through. We're sticking to the right here because we are just about to get onto 66. And this is a toll. It is not a toll this time of day, but this afternoon it will turn into a toll because traffic on 66, rush hour coming in the mornings, you're going to be going east, and we are headed west on 66, and they change the tolls, obviously, depending on what time of day is peak. So now we are officially headed away from Washington, D.C. here on 66 West. This is still Arlington where I'm driving through. We're just getting ready to pass under North Scott Street. And I'm going to stay on 66 to take this to the toll road to give you an idea of what your commute might look like depending on where you land and where you're working. But so many people work in DC and come in from outer areas that I want to show you, give you an idea of what the lay of the land looks like. You certainly don't have to take the toll road. Obviously, the perk of it is less commute time, and the downside is the tolls definitely add up. If you are, say, living in Loudoun County and headed pretty far west, you could always take Route 7. They have made a lot of improvements to Route 7 over the years. I don't think it's as quick as the toll road, but it sure is a lot better than it used to be. I can remember I grew up in Leesburg, out in Luckett's, and I can remember riding with my dad to work before I could drive. He worked in Tyson's, and I can remember back in those days it was just 2 lanes and a lot of lights, and then they expanded it to 4, and now they have removed a lot of lights and made some overpasses. So it is a lot better than it was, but it's still going to take you a bit longer than if you were using the toll road. So just a few minutes has passed, and now we are entering, still on 66, but we've exited out of Arlington, and we are coming up to start to see exits for Falls Church. So just working our way further out of the city. As you can see just by that taxi cab, that's kind of what you can expect for drivers around here. Personally, I am not a fan. The driving here is borderline reckless, so be prepared that people are going to cut you off. They're speeding. They are always in a hurry. It's just a little wild to drive here. I guess you get used to it, although obviously I was born and raised here, and daily I am constantly surprised at just how risky people are when they drive here. Over on the right there, you have parking for Metro. It could be that you are in walking distance to a Metro station, or it could be that you've got a bus stop in walking distance to your neighborhood, or you may have to drive and actually park at the station. Just depends on where you are. Coming up this hill right here, this is getting ready to split off, and I'm actually going to get over to the right because I want to take you on the toll road. But if you stay towards the left, 66 West continues. It will go and take you past Vienna, Fairfax, Oakton area, and then as you continue further west, it will take you out to Centerville, Manassas, Gainesville, Haymarket if you really want to go further out. I'm not going to do that today. I want to stick closer to the city in terms of Washington, D.C. to give you an idea of commuting there. We're now over on this right side, and this is going to have some options. We're going to be headed towards Dulles Airport. You can see that on the sign here. 267 is the toll road. If you're headed to the airport to, even if it's just to drop someone off, you can take the airport lanes and you won't have a toll there. You just have to head straight to the airport. So that's a nice option if you're traveling out of Dulles. You can also hop on 495 by taking this exit. And if you had stayed to the left, 66 will also take you to an exit for Route 7 if you wanted to head into Tyson's Corner. So you can see on the sign here where it breaks off if you want to take the airport lanes. Again, no toll there. We're sticking to the right because I'm not taking you to the airport. I just want to hop on to be able to show you a bit of the toll road. And that'll be coming up here on the right shortly, probably about another mile. And before we get to the actual toll road, you're also going to see that you can exit from here to get on 123 or 495 to head into Tyson's or McLean. And a little bit later in the video, I will be showing you 495 as well. Here we are getting ready to get on the toll road. If you go to the right, that'll take you to McLean. If you take this next exit, it will take you to Tyson's Corner, or south on the Beltway. The Beltway is 495. And then a little bit further up here, you could head north on the Beltway if you are headed to Baltimore. We are actually going to cross under 495. You can see it is almost lunchtime, and you can see all that traffic on 495. That's heading into Maryland. They are going to be crossing over the American Legion, and I'm not going to say there's always traffic, but extremely frequently there is traffic heading over the bridge to get into Maryland. So here we are. Now we are officially on the toll road, and coming up this hill, we'll be crossing through the toll booth. Just want to give you an idea of what it looks like. You can see it is a very large area and a very large, heavily traveled road. And as you can see, that person just about came right into my lane. Again, very normal for Northern Virginia. Once we go through this toll booth, immediately on your right, you can actually see the sign right here. If you want to get off on Route 7, either to go into Tyson's or head west to head out towards Loudoun County, you don't have to stay on the toll road, but you do have to go through this booth if you've already gotten on it. So we're going to do that now. And I'm going to stay on the toll road just for a little bit to give you an idea of what it looks like. The far left lane is HOV in the afternoon, evening. I believe that it starts at 4 o'clock, 4 to 6:30, Monday through Friday. So if you are commuting with someone else, then you can use that lane on the left. And then we're going to be coming up here on the right. We'll be passing Wolf Trap just shortly. Great place in Vienna for outdoor concerts, and they constantly have something going on there. It is one of the, I would say, top entertainment areas in Northern Virginia. Now we are coming up to the Reston exits, and I'm actually going to use Reston to turn around and then head back towards, it'll be southwest on the toll road, head back towards the Beltway and get on the Beltway. And Reston, want to point out, Reston has its own metro station now, and also has the Reston Town Center. Reston is a very popular place in Northern Virginia because it's set up for a live, work, play lifestyle. They did a great job preserving nature, and not every area in Northern Virginia can say that. So if you're looking for an area that is surrounded by nature and still has a lot of trees and grass and parks, but also has Reston Town Center and shopping, dining, entertainment all at your fingertips, Reston is definitely worth checking out. We're going to pass Hunter Mill Road first. That's the exit here. You can take Hunter Mill Road both into Reston, or you can also take it into Oakton as well. And then once we pass that, the next exit that we'll see is going to be Wheelie, and Wheelie is where the metro station is. And now here we are passing Wheelie Avenue. I'm going to stay on until the next exit just because it's easier for me to then immediately loop back around. I'll just have a minute or so on Reston Parkway and then loop back around and head back down the toll road. coming up here for the exit for Reston Parkway, once we take the exit, I'm going to be making a left, but if you make a right, Reston Town Center will be on your left side within half a mile-ish, about, very close by, very convenient. If you're interested in learning more about Reston, check out our vlog that we did. It showcases more of the town center and a spot that locals hang out, in addition to going over some of the neighborhoods and prices for real estate in the area. If I were to stay on the toll road, it will carry me to be able to exit off into Herndon, and then it runs into an exit for 28, which is also an option to get to Sterling. You can actually take the toll road all the way to exits for Ashburn, and in addition to that, take it through where it changes to the Greenway to then head out to Leesburg, and you can also then take it to hop on 7 to head out to Percival, Lovettsville, Hamilton, Waterford areas out in western Loudoun County. If you're enjoying this video and getting some value from it, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap that bell for notifications so that you will be the first to know when I release a video, which is every single week. All right, so now we are headed back the other way. We're headed east now on the toll road, and I'll be on this to get to the Beltway for about 10 more minutes. There's definitely no traffic right now, so that's nice. In the mornings, this does back up depending on the day. Sometimes it's pretty smooth. I know that I've been frustrated before when I've paid all the tolls and I'm still sitting in traffic. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine, but it just happens here in Northern Virginia. And I'll point out to you the lanes here where you see the barrier on the left and then 2 more lanes. Those are the airport lanes where people are headed back from doing drop-offs. And again, no toll on the airport lanes. So here we are coming up to the toll plaza, and just wanted to point out that you can access Route 7 and Spring Hill Road from this side as well. We've got some congestion. Probably a toll lane is closed up here, so I'm going to get over. And here we are coming up to the toll plaza. On the right here, that is the back of Tyco Park, which is a business complex with business condos in Tysons. And I know that area well because my dad used to own Tyson Corner Animal Hospital for many years. And that was where I had my very first job. So lots of trips into work with my dad in the morning. My very first job was washing dogs and cleaning the animal hospital. And I learned a lot there, and I have a lot of great memories from working with my dad. We turn this back because we are getting ready to get on the Beltway. That electronic board you see with the dollar amounts there that we just passed, that is for the express lanes on the Beltway. This time of day, I won't need to take them, but depending on the day, an hour to 2 hours later, I probably would take them just to avoid rush hour traffic. Rush hour on the Beltway here, Thursdays and Mondays seem to be one of the worst days, but it gets earlier and earlier every year with people. They go into work earlier to then leave earlier and hopefully beat traffic as they're heading home. So we're just going to take the ramp here. If I stayed to the left and did not split off, we could go take 495 up to Baltimore, Maryland. And if I stayed straight, that would be 66 East, and it would just be going back the way that we were coming out of the city on 66 West. Here we come up the ramp here. That big building you see is the Capital One building. And we're going to then begin to see exits for 123, which, depending on which direction you go, would either take you to Tysons in Vienna or into McLean. So now we're merging onto the Beltway here. So on the right there, all these tall buildings, that's Tyson's Corner. Lots of businesses there, but also lots of shopping and dining and entertainment as well. There's the exit for Route 7, so if you happen to miss it from the toll road, no worries. You can just hop on the Beltway and then take it. 7 East will take you into Falls Church, and 7 West will take you into Tyson's. Coming up here in just a minute, we are also going to see the exit for 66 West if you wanted to head out towards Centerville, Manassas, Gainesville area. And the lanes that you see over here on the left, you see the white barrier. The lanes on the left, those are the express lanes. So there's the exit for 66. 66 also now has express lanes that have recently opened. Again, great if it's in the budget and time is more important than money. Take those express lanes. For me, it just depends on how tight my schedule is, whether or not I take them, because the tolls definitely add up. Now we're coming up on that 66 right there, splitting off to the right. We're going to stay on the Beltway, and the next exit that we're going to see and talk about is Route 50. So that can take you into Fairfax and the Mosaic District as well. If you are looking for a place to shop, dine, and stroll around, Mosaic District is a great spot in the Merrifield area. And Falls Church City also has a downtown area that is great for strolling around as well. We have a vlog on Falls Church City as well if you want to check that out and learn a little bit more about the area. Here we are coming up, it's on the right. You can take Route 50 on this exit here on the right, or you can take Lee Highway. Lee Highway will also take you through, depending on which direction you go, either Fairfax, or it will take you through Falls Church and into Arlington as well. We're passing the Gallows Road exit now. That will take you into Annandale and also the Merrifield Falls Church area. I want to mention that because that also will take you to the Inova Hospital Complex and all of their medical offices as well. They took over a lot of acreage when the ExxonMobil headquarters left and moved to Texas. Inova took it over and really expanded their campus there. This next exit that we are coming up to is 236, which is Little River Turnpike. That is another, it's certainly not as major of a commuter route as the Beltway that we're on, but it is heavily traveled because it will take you into Fairfax City, and if you want to go even further, also take you out to the Fairfax area outside of Fairfax City proper. And it will also take you to Annandale if you're looking to head a different direction. Something that I really like about Little River Turnpike, I use it a lot. There are a lot of lights, but what I really like is it gives you access to what I call side roads to cut through, to cut over to other areas. I use Little River to cut from Annandale over to Springfield. I'll use Ollie Lane. That's a plus about Little River. We're getting ready to pass Braddock Road as well, and I like Braddock Road for the same reason. You can use Little River to take side roads to Braddock Road, and Braddock is sort of similar in that it is a commuter route, nowhere near as well-traveled and large as the Beltway, but it is another way to access to get into the Springfield area, or you could even use it to then be able to cut over to Burke as well. And I love having options just because of the traffic situation here in Northern Virginia. That's the Braddock Road exit right there on the right. It splits off. And now we are coming up to a huge split. I'm going to be taking 395, but the split here, I'll show you. On the right, it's going to be 95. You can get on 95 South, or you can stay on 495 here, and if you continue onto 495, it will take you into Maryland across the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. So lots of arteries that are getting ready to split here. I am not going to get on 95 South today. I've probably waited a little bit too late, and honestly, 95 South is just another beast in itself. 95 in general, but particularly South, especially weekends and for the afternoon commute, it can be rough going. There are express lanes there too, so if you want to spend the money to get home faster, you at least do have that option. If I were to jump off 95 South here, it will take me to head down towards Lorton. There's also, before the Lorton exit is Fairfax County Parkway exit, another well-traveled road here in Northern Virginia. And then after Lorton, you of course have Woodbridge, Dumfries, Stafford area as well. Not going to be checking that out today. If that's something you want to see, drop it in the comments below for me, and I'm happy to do a separate video of 95. We're going to stick right in this lane, hop on 395 north to head back towards Washington, D.C., which is essentially a big circle that I've taken you in today to give you an idea of what it looks driving around here in Northern Virginia. So here we are getting ready to split off. These left 2 lanes are 495. The 2 lanes that I'm in will take us to 395, and then over across the barrier on the right there is 95 south, and there's also an exit for Franconia Road, which will take you into Alexandria. Alexandria, that's part of Fairfax County though, not Alexandria City. And then you can also use that off-ramp to get on Old Keene Mill and head into Springfield. So we're just going to wrap around this ramp here, and it's going to dump us right on 495. This is a pretty rough patch of road coming up, so if you have any type of motion sickness, you might want to just forward for a few seconds, because I'm afraid that my camera is going to shake quite a bit. It's been rough here for years, and hopefully they'll eventually redo it. All right, so we're just getting ready to merge onto 395 here. You will also see more express lanes on the left across that barrier, and we're going to merge, and this exit up here is Edsall Road. Same thing, if you drop off on Edsall, that will take you into Alexandria, that is in Fairfax County, and it actually changes over bordering either Fairfax County or Alexandria, that's in Alexandria City. There are a lot of homes once you take the Edsall Road exit, and then you can take that all the way to South Van Dorn if you'd like, which is, I don't know, maybe 5-7 minutes depending on how many lights you hit along Edsall. And there's a lot of retail on South Van Dorn in that section. This area normally really backs up, even when it's not peak commute time. So we got lucky today that there isn't a traffic jam here. It's not a great merge there, coming off 495 onto 395, and then Edsall Road is immediately there. So it kind of bottlenecks, and the other reason it does is another exit coming from the opposite direction on 495 feeds in to that same ramp we were on, and it backs up there. We're cruising right along. The gates are closed right now because of the time of day it is. They've got them open for people leaving Washington, D.C., but in the mornings, these gates would be open, so if traffic was really bad, you can jump off if you'd like to. Next exit here on 395 that we are coming up to is Duke Street, which will take you into Alexandria City. The Cameron Station neighborhood is there, very popular neighborhood in Alexandria. And it will also give you access to Little River Turnpike. You can access that both from 395 and from 495. Hence, that is one of the reasons that I really like and use Little River a lot. It's very convenient. Yes, it's slower and a lot more lights, but oftentimes it's the faster route because of the traffic issues on these major commuter routes. Lots going on in this section of Duke Street as well. If you take that exit right there, the 3A exit, you will see at this time just a parking garage and then a completely leveled, huge space. That's where Landmark Mall used to be. We're actually going to be able to see the parking garage here coming up on the right. Just beyond this Seminary Road sign, this parking garage on the right that we are passing, that used to be for Landmark Mall. That has all been demolished, and that's going to be where Inova Alexandria Hospital is moving, along with some residences and I believe some commercial and retail. I don't have what type at this point, but that is in the plans. Seminary Road, lots of homes that are off of Seminary, and it will also take you to the current site where Inova Alexandria is, but in the somewhat near future, it's going to be a few years, but in the future, they will move from that site to the Duke Street location. It's not quite under construction, but they're putting in all the infrastructure and they have everything cleared. Seminary is also how you would get to Fort Ward Museum and Park. I did a short on that if you're interested. It is a fascinating location with a lot of history, and it's also a beautiful place to walk. Next exit that we are passing here is King Street, which is also 7, and yes, it is the 7 that I was talking about earlier that you can access from either 495 or the toll road. I do not recommend taking 7 all that way because traffic backs up in multiple locations and there's a lot of lights, but want to make sure I point out that it is the same 7 known as King Street here in Alexandria. And if you take that exit, it will take you to the Bradley Shopping Center where there is Safeway, Fresh Market, tanning salon, nails, post office, McDonald's, daily needs type of setup there. And then this next exit that we are just about to is Shirlington. And Shirlington is another great place if you are looking to get out and stroll around, grab a bite to eat. Shirlington has lots of dining options, and they also have a couple festivals throughout the year that are a lot of fun. I'm actually going to, not taking the Shirlington exit, but this splits right here, and we're going to stay straight. If I were to drop off here, you can access Quaker Lane on the far right there, and that will take you into the Fairlington area, or you could stay straight to cross over to Shirlington. We're going to stay right here because we're coming up on Glebe Road, and that is another major artery. Depending on what traffic is doing, you can take Glebe to cut back over to where we were passing Reagan Airport earlier. I am going to stay on 395 just a little bit longer. We are almost to the city at the pace that we're traveling. We're only about 5 minutes from DC, and I'll drop off right before it turns into Washington, D.C. I just want to give you an idea. If you're going to be using 395 to commute, this is what you're going to be looking at. The condos and apartments that you see here are an Arlington address, Glebe Road, with the exception of a small section of East and West Glebe is Arlington. South and North is Arlington. East and West is Alexandria. We're going to come up here, see the Washington Boulevard exit that will take you to the Pentagon. It'll also take you to Arlington Cemetery and into Roslyn. If I was in the left, really at the left 3 lanes here, just not in this right lane that I'm in, that will take you right on into the city. As soon as you round the bend, you will see Washington, D.C. This splits off right here to 27 and 244, which is Washington Boulevard and Columbia Pike. I'm not going to take that exit because I don't want to go into Arlington. I want to just wrap around right here. You can see the 3 lanes to head right into Washington, D.C. And there's the Pentagon right there. Got to get a shot of the Pentagon in. It's such a important part of inner workings here in the DMV. And there it is on the right there. One last little snippet because I'm just looping back around to head back to Alexandria. This is GW Parkway that I just bailed on before I was going to be taken into Washington, D.C. This is another pretty major commuter route, not as major as, 66 495 toll road, but still worth mentioning if you live in land in Alexandria. This is another option to head into Washington, D.C. And we're actually looping back to be back near Reagan Airport where we were before. So there you have it. That is a big picture view, one big circle around the Northern Virginia area to give you an idea of what commuting looks like. I hope you got some value out of this video, got an idea of the lay of the land. If you have any questions, just drop them in the comments below. And whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, whether it's across town or across the country, really, reach out. I'd be happy to answer your questions and help you make it a smooth process. Thanks for watching, and until I see you on the next one, take care.